Hello YouTube and hello Pageant Universe. My name is Jazz and this is my new YouTube channel, Pageants with Jazz. I want to tell you a little bit about myself so that you know where my perspective is coming from on my pageant commentary, critique, thoughts, opinions, updates, all of the things that I'll be sharing on this channel, because I know that I have a little bit of a unique perspective than what others who have pageant commentary channels may be bringing to YouTube. So I want to just let you guys know a little bit about me and what sets me apart from others. Obviously not claiming that I'm better than anybody else, just different. Everybody's unique and I want to tell you what makes me unique. I have been watching pageants since the early 90s. Yes, I'm dating myself officially. Yes, I'm too old, or up until this year would have been too old to participate in a Miss Universe pageant. However, I did used to model in a past life many years ago. I grew up between two different countries. I spent most of my childhood in the Cayman Islands, which is sort of my heritage country. I'm an 8th generation Caymanian and I spent many years there up until I was like 11 or 12 years old. I then moved to Canada, where another side of my family is from. And so I spent roughly 15 years in Canada before moving back to the Cayman Islands for a few years after that. And I now live in Miami because that's where I met my husband, and now I'm married and I live here. So that's a little bit about me. So now you know where all my biases are. I do also have family in Jamaica. My dad is Jamaican. So again, if you want to know my biases, just going straight into things before I drop any solid opinions on you guys, I am biased towards Canada, the Cayman Islands, and Jamaica. But that said, as you probably know, those three countries are not necessarily regular top contenders, although Canada and Jamaica do put up a really good fight a lot. The Cayman Islands, I have been making commentary about the Cayman chapter of Miss Universe for a few years now, however on a different YouTube channel. I recently took those videos down because that YouTube channel has gone in a very different direction. When I was living in Cayman, after moving back as an adult, I started making travel content and sort of tips and fun things to know about Cayman on a totally different YouTube channel. And I did many live streams the years that I was living there about each year's pageant, the contestant, my commentary, giving them some tips and advice from my experience as a model, and from like 30 years of experience of watching pageants. And honestly, a lot of them reached out to me and told me that they found my feedback very helpful. It was a lot of times aligned with what their own coaches were telling them and what other experienced industry experts were telling them. So I did get some confirmation that my opinions and my advice are good. But with that said, I obviously know that having not competed in a pageant myself, and never been hired to photograph a pageant myself, I'll get to the photography stuff in a minute. Hey, interrupting myself real quick. I know I mentioned that I'll get into the photography stuff in more detail in a second, and I will, but I wanted to interrupt because I mentioned here that I've never been hired in an official capacity to photograph any Miss Universe pageants. However, I have had the opportunity to photograph a number of the Miss Cayman Islands Universe contestants in previous years. Now these were all creative shoots. Each one I gave the girls the opportunity to sort of select their own idea or theme. In one case, they actually chose to do a campaign for a charity organization that they were working with, Plastic Free Cayman. So I'm going to put those photos in here so you guys can see a little bit of the creative work that I did with those ladies. Like I said, it wasn't an official capacity. It's not like I was the photographer to do all of their headshots or anything like that. Just fun creative shoots that I got to do with them because, again, I was just working on getting involved in the pageant industry down there as much as I could at the time. Okay, back to the video. I am coming to you more as an armchair critic, so that's why I'm here in my robe. I will be wearing a robe in all of my videos because 1, it makes it easier for me to decide what to wear when I'm filming, and 2, it's just reminding you all that I don't take myself too seriously, and I hope you don't take me too seriously either, even though I intend to bring interesting and helpful commentary to our industry of pageants, fashion, beauty, all of the above. So yes, I am your luxurious armchair commentator. Coming from experience in the performing world, I was a competitive dancer on a national level for many years back in Canada. I was a former model, again back in Canada. I used to model, I did runway, I did print, what do you call it? When you're on the other side of the camera. But these days, I am a professional photographer. I have been a photographer for most of my life, honestly. I studied photography in high school and university. It just took me a long time to actually start my own business and make that my work, but that's what I do these days. Based in Miami, I am a professional photographer. I've done photography for many charities, big companies, small companies, fashion brands, models. I do, you know, portfolio work for new models and stuff like that. So I know a lot from that part of the industry, from being behind the camera in the fashion and beauty world. That said, I am fairly new to that industry because, like I said, it took me some time. I only moved to Miami in 2020, right around the time when the whole world shut down, actually. So I had to kind of push through the world being shut down for the first part of my my opening of my business. But these days the ball is really rolling and I'm getting to work with a lot of really cool brands and companies here in Miami. Obviously it is a big fashion spot in the world. I don't know about a capital because I think a lot of people would argue most of the fashion capitals are in Europe and other places. But I would say Miami is its own fashion capital. Similar to New York. I guess in the States, New York, California, and Miami are kind of the places people think about when they think about fashion. So there you go. That's what I'm up to these days. That is a little bit about my experience, where I come from, and where my passion for this industry comes from. I've been on the other side of the camera before. I've been a model. You know, I've had to pose for many, many photos as a dancer. And now I am on this side of the camera, which it turns out I really enjoy being on this side of the camera. And it gives me that unique perspective to share with you guys what I think about, for example, a model, a candidate, a delegate, a Miss Universe, a queen. It gives me the chance to speak to how I think they're performing as a photographer. I can tell a lot about how photos are edited, how good a model is at posing, how experienced they are in front of the camera. It gives me a lot of really helpful perspective. And honestly, since opening my business and not doing photography as just a hobby, it has really made me see things differently. Diving into this industry has been very eye-opening, and now when I watch pageants, I see it from a whole different perspective, because I have photographed, like I said, some charity events, which includes when they do like charity fashion shows, and so I'm photographing and sometimes filming, I do a little videography as well, women walking down a runway. And so I really see runway walks differently now that I've had to watch it from a very technical perspective, trying to catch women at certain points in their stride. You just start to process things and see things differently. So it is from that experience and from that lifetime's worth of getting to know both the fashion and the beauty industry from both sides of the camera, as well as just watching pageants for so many years now, that I'm coming to you with my perspective. So I hope that you guys enjoy my videos on this channel. I hope that now that you've gotten to know a little bit about me and where my advice, opinions, commentary, critiques will be coming from, that you hit that subscribe button so that you can watch those videos as they come out, and like this video so that I know that you like it. I guess that's it. I'll see you in the next one.